Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourselves in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. This evening's scene will take place in a street, as opposed to the Griffith Club itself, outside of the Griffith Club, as cars wend and weave their way along the night streets. Pedestrians laugh and walk, many of them still high on their exhilaration from New Year's Eve, the night before, when the city itself, it isn't New Year's Eve. My apologies. The city would be destroyed if it was New Year's, if it was after New Year's. It is the night of New Year's. My apologies. As the city itself holds its breath before it is the brave Magi must make sure that there will come a tomorrow. The mages who make their way to the Griffith Club, no doubt for a meal and refreshment, before it is they may have to throw their lives into jeopardy, will be... You will hear carried on the wind, carried by some unearthly sound, the music in the video I have sent you. So if you'd like to play that, you will hear that carried on the wind. As you will see seated outside of the Griffith Club, with his back to the wall, this individual sands the staff with a flute pressed to his lips. Who would like to go first?
I mean, Finley's going to be arriving in a car. Probably had to get a cab or something else. He's not very mobile. He's pretty much getting out, which probably takes a minute or two. Pays the guy and looks around. He was going to walk straight into the Griffin Club.
You will notice, as I say, that the man seated, playing the flute, has wraps around his eyes. But the music is sweet. It speaks of lost love, flowers that wilt without ever being seen in the darkness, but also hope that tomorrow will come.
Leaning heavily on his cane with his hair in a ponytail and his newly shorn nails, Jackie will slowly but surely walk up the street to the Griffith Club, feeling the age in his old bones and the cold a little more. He draws his leather jacket, which now hangs lank over his lean frame, up to the club. And the fellow playing, if there's a tip jar or whatever or something, he'll put some money in it. Says, "Good on you, young man. Good on you."
Iki?
She'll walk up, internally laughing at Jackie and Finley for their plights. But she's a bitch, so... But it's all internal. But just Shy Show gets a bout of laughing, which is probably not unusual. When she, sees the man and hears the music, she'll stop and she'll actually sit down, not really beside him. No, fuck you, someone. Hello. Gonna beat you senseless with her fan. And so guess
Wouldn't
what?
It be hard at this point.
I mean, yeah, but you got lethal. This thing feels ag.
Yep.
So she'll, hearing the music and everything, will sit down. Not close, but just kind of... We'll sit down and listen.
It reminds you of songs, and it reminds you of music the monks used to play.
Those guys.
Well, you were members of the enlightened. You were members of the enlightened aristocracy. You never really had to deal. But the monks were fixtures. They trained your brother to fight occasionally, but and you spent time in their temples trying to learning to meditate and come to oneness with yourself, but you never really spent as much time there as Akashics would traditionally.
Silly
The
Akash.
figure. What
Oh,
was that,
nothing.
Ken?
Was nothing. Feel free, go on.
He will continue to play his flute, as he will put his hand down to the bowl that is beside him, and he will say, he will look up at Jackie. The flute will hang in midair and will continue to play. Everyone around you who walks by does not seem to realize this. And he will say, set your heart on the doing of good. Do it over and over, and you will be filled with joy.
All right, feller. That's what I plan on doing anyway. Okay. Thank you. Put your floating flute there. That's a neat trick.
He would say, to those who can see the wind, is fire far away.
I reckon if one thing is, if crazy is normal for you, then things that seem weird to other folk wouldn't really be that big of a deal. And reaching further than that, probably a logical conclusion. But it's cold, and I'm gonna go inside. So y'all go ahead on and pontificate if you want to, or you can come on inside and have a drink.
He will say, compassion is not complete if it does not include oneself. And he seems to nod. Or he will stand up and catch the flute. And he will then look down at Ikiro. And he will smile. And he will say, once again, obviously his eyes are completely covered. He will say, how much does one lack himself, who has many things, who desires more?
I didn't catch that. My bad.
How much does one lack himself, who has many things, and yet desires only more?
He lacks the entirety of himself. He's an empty hole, trying to fill, but never will.
He will then look at his head will then turn to, so his eyes are where Finley would be, and he will say, a broken tree in the forest that has fallen from light and grace. Does one mourn it? Finley!
Yes?
He just asked you
Sorry, was
a
he
question.
I didn't realize he was addressing me. Sorry, what did he say?
He said, a tree that's a tree that lays broken in the forest, fallen from light and tranquility. Does one mourn it?
That doesn't sound like a question to him. That sounds like a statement.
By the way,
like
Ikiro already knows this. Jackie, do you want to give me a belief systems roll? Or what was the equivalent you had? Cultural?
Cultural savvy. That ain't nothing but a Cohen. I ain't stupid. I character, but I rolled it.
I have belief systems.
All right. Would you like to give me an intelligence belief systems roll?
Sure. You open up.
And what did you roll? What did you roll, Marcus?
I'm gonna roll these 3 dice right quick. Give me a second.
You said intelligence?
Yeah.
If 6?
Mm-hmm.
No successes. I
2
don't know
successes.
shit.
How many successes did you get, Son? 2. Okay.
2.
He's clearly some kind of monk. You'd guess probably Buddhist.
Well, okay, so he gets that portion, but he still doesn't understand that as a question. It sounds like a statement.
Yeah, but you also don't have enigmas.
Yeah, so he's just going to kind of look and be like, okay.
He will stand, and he will hold out his hand, and he will kind of, he will move it around. Clearly the man is blind.
I'll put his hand on my shoulder.
He will say, "A simple kindness is often repaid, even if it is seen as though it is nothing. To someone, it is always something."
Just don't lean too hard. I'm made of old guy now.
Okay.
I got him into the place to a booth and set him down and goes, "Have a chair, son."
Jackie, with each step you take, you feel revitalized.
You mean I got health levels back?
No,
I was
as
down
in you
by
feel,
1.
as in you feel younger. Your strength
Well,
returns.
that's cool. I still take the guy to the seat because he's effing blind because he can't see.
But my point is, by the time Jackie sits him down in his booth, Jackie is back to his normal, what would appear his appropriate age.
Well, hell, I was getting used to that cane. I suppose
Simple
I was right.
kindnesses and benefices of words. Benefices of the way. A kindness given is a kindness returned.
Okay, fella, I don't know how to thank you for what you done, but you have a name or something?
He'll contemplate. I am. I am moonlight's triumphant palest shadow.
Now, do I got to say all that, or is there a shorter version?
By the way, Kim, would you like to give me an intelligence Akashic lore?
Oh. Okay. Actually, you never gave me Akashic lore.
Oh, you have Akashic lore 3.
Okay.
Actually, no, you have Akashic lore 4.
No, wait, it's up one more.
No, sorry, because she has the same lore as her brother has, so I had to remember his sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Okay, I'm gonna use Lucky and redo that. Fuck that.
Someone fail.
Yeah, I failed on 8 dice at diff 6. I'm using Lucky. Fuck that. Yeah, that's a lot better. That's 4 successes.
Okay. Moonlight's triumphant palest shadow is a very respected and powerful Akashic master who was known for his unorthodox training techniques and teachings. But he's also, and more importantly and more famously known, for being the keeper of the staff of Sun Wukong.
Oh.
This dude got the staff of the Monkey King.
This dude got the staff of the Monkey King.
Does Kim need me to fill in anything, or do you know who Sun Wukong is?
I know who Sun Wukong is.
Excellent.
Damn. Okay. I mean, he can't see, or she'd bow. But I guess she bows anyway because he could probably hear that, so she will bow.
For the record, because you obviously have the etiquette and whatever to know, his correct title would probably be Sifu.
Gotcha.
He will he'll quirk his head to the side. Oh, for the record, King, because you got the 4 successes, he lost his eyes, banishing a greater Yama King back to the 10,000 held.
God damn, I fucking hate those things. How many did we have to fight?
There were a lot of back alleys in Hong Kong, and everybody had a greater beat in it. There were a lot of alleyways, Kim.
Flashbacks.
He would say, "A traveler may walk many paths. However, the exchange of tea is always welcome."
Taking that as like a hint, Jackie will order the dude some.
I take it we've moved inside the building at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Jackie, important question. What type of tea do you get him?
Can I roll my cultural savvy again?
Yeah, you can rock cultural savvy if you'd like. How'd you do on that?
I rolled bad. Give me a second. I gotta actually roll it.
Okay.
I got a success.
I beg your pardon?
I got 1 success.
You'd assume probably either jasmine or green tea.
Well, whichever one they have, I order it.
They have them both, Jackie.
Ain't that a kick in the head? I order them both and let him pick.
Okay. As you walk back and place it in front of him, he will reach out his hands and he'll kind of feel around the edge of the cups. And he'll nod as he takes the jasmine tea. And he will then push the green tea to the other side of the table where there is an empty seat. But he does not intimate who should sit there. Oh, by the way, Kim, did I mention he's batshit insane?
Love those
That would've
kind
been
of
good to
guys.
Hmm?
He's still bad though.
Actually, no, I amend that statement. By Western standards, he's batshit insane. By Eastern mystic standards, he's he's not.
He's
but
brilliant.
he's brilliant.
Seeing that Finley is still all fucked up, he will go. He'll look at him and goes, "Hey, Finley."
He adjusts his cast slightly. Yes.
Can you hobble on over here for a second?
He's not dumb. He sees that you've been fixed, and he just kind of looks and goes, he looks uncomfortable. Like, he's not, he's looking at this going like, it's hard to describe because I'm trying to figure out how the character is reacting to this. It's like I've had this talk with Evan before that there are ways he could get this fixed, and he's seen some of those ways, but he feels like it's cheating almost. He ripped something out of his system that cannot be fixed by magic under typical circumstances, and he figures that's something he should deal with. He thinks you're trying to guide him over there to get healed.
He goes, "Well, sir, you want to stay over there and stay like that? However, if you want to balm to your issues there, about that, that's really up to you. But I reckon, fella here and Ichiro probably got some kind of strange, arcane, Akashic conversation to have. Unless you want to be a part of that, I'm going to be over at the bar."
You assume the path that I walk is not the path you walk. And yet, what happens if we step in the same footprints?
Jackie screws his face up for a second. He goes, "You're going to do that all night, aren't you? Not that I don't appreciate what you done for me, right?"
If Kim wants to act as mediator, this is how he talks.
It's cute. You think he's going to translate. She's like, everybody should know this. Plus, I mean, she's not going to step on his toes if he wants them to, if he wants a translator, then, he'll say so and she'll translate.
He will smile, and he will say, "Because words are air, does that mean that if value is placed, that they become worth more than that?"
Jackie will use Mind One and get it out of Enigmas to figure this shit out.
Oh, you're basically just going to move dots around on your sheet?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you moving it from?
I don't think I need esoteric.
What are you moving it from
I don't
to?
currently need esoterica right now.
Okay.
1 second, hold on. I'll move. I got a security of 3. I don't think that I'm going to be picking any locks in the next few minutes, so I think that's where I'm going to move it to.
Yep, that's fine.
So let me roll. Gotta roll this. He's gonna talk crazy on that. I want to understand that.
It's going to be 1 success for every point you wish to move.
Roger that. I now have 2 dots in Enigmas. Let me roll that.
Mind, also known as the Cheaty Sphere.
You can't really do much else with it. Other than cheat. Now that he has a frame of reference, I mean, he's not going to actually roll it, but like Marcus has a brain, so I'm going to use it. And he goes, well, sir? I reckon if we're going to talk about words, we should talk about deeds also. Now, you done did a whole heck of a lot. So,
He
in
will
the scheme
say,
of things,
"Oh, sorry, continue."
so in the scheme of things, you done already held up your end. And to your previous question, I reckon if we're all walking together, we all ought to sit together.
He would say, he would smile, and he would say, "Kindness is repaid with kindness. So the karmic wheel turns. You were granted nothing more than what was you gave. After all, it is not the size of the kindness, but the fact it is given."
All good works is the same in the end, is what you're saying then.
He'll contemplate that as he sips his tea, and then he will nod. Justice, right, compassion are things that are done from the place in your heart that inspire. So, any action done with these goals in mind is noble.
Your action's pure and you won't be an asshole. I like it.
He will say, "You have been granted the benefits of your kindness. Kindness should always be rewarded." That's like the most straightforward sentence he's come out with so far.
Something's going on here. I reckon you ain't just wander in here out of the blue. Essentially, say that since your feet have stepped on the same path, your big bad's on the regular. And since we're about to go head up against the big bad, you're here to help.
He'll contemplate that as he shakes his head, and he will say, "My path was not here to chase evil. My path came here to chase that which is lost."
Does this have anything to do with that death up in the netherworld?
He will say, "The souls do not return from whence they came. They do not achieve peace and harmony because they have not yet died. That is not why I am here."
And then y'all got any guesses why this feller's here? Because I'm thinking that's what he wants us to figure out.
Kim isn't there. No.
Huh?
Mark has asked a question.
Oh shit, my bad. I'm like 50 Shades of not here. What's up?
Yeah.
It's not like I built this NPC to interact with you or anything, Kim.
Well, Jackie was the one who took the initiative and started talking to the dude. I wasn't gonna come in and be like, hello. You know, fuck. Anyway, what's up?
Reckon old feller here wants us to figure out why it is that he's here. He's giving us a couple options. It ain't the netherworld dust up, which I think you might have something to do with, and it ain't because we're going to the against the other fellers. It's something that's lost. He's here for it. It's on it or something.
Jackie, if you must know, the stuff that is going on downstairs is not my doing, it is my father's. Not everything that happens that pertains to the Shadow World is my fault. Thank you so very much.
That still don't answer the question.
Well, when you're insinuating such horrible things as, like, I am the one wanting to bring down the wall, then perhaps that is what will catch my eye.
He will reach out. How far is Ikiro sitting from him?
I mean, she's probably somewhere within arm's reach at the table. Because there's 4 people, so I'm assuming they just got, like, one of those 4x4 tables.
Assuming
Or
that
that
she's sitting
one-on-one.
beside him, he will turn and he will very, very gently put his hand to the side of your face. And he will then put his other hand to the other side of your face. And he'll do that thing that blind people do where they feel someone's face to see them, if you understand.
Mm-hmm.
And he will say, a flower lost. Perhaps. The path is not yet clear. However, I must find that which is no longer here.
Kim's tired. I'm gonna roll some intellect enigmas. That was not what I needed. It's 3 successes because Kim's brain doesn't want to work. So what did he say?
He said basically that you are very lovely and that he is here seeking something beautiful that he has lost.
If I might be so bold, what is it that you have lost?
Something and nothing.
Do you
Oh, what kind of spirit? My bad.
do you wish for us to help find it? Fuck, I kind of fucked that up.
He will
Go with
say,
it. Probably makes sense to him.
my path is not to find it. It is to set those upon the path who will.
And you believe it is us to be set upon that path?
He will contemplate, and he will say, only the august personage knows this.
This is very true. Has the staff been lost?
He'll contemplate. He will say, it has gone to see what it can see.
I see. Perhaps it would be best that it is brought back then before it sees too much.
Until such time as he is let from beneath his mountain prison, we shall be its guardians. So, perhaps you are right.
Do you have any possible ideas of where it has gone to visit?
He once again appears to contemplate. For the record, you guys, am I to assume you guys are completely confused as to what the fuck she's talking about?
Finley's used to this by now.
Nope, not confused. Though I will make an Euthanatos lore, since we both all exist in the same universe, whatever, to see if the staff of Sun Wukong has any significance in Euthanatos lore.
Okay.
I don't know why, but that picture of Jackie makes it look like he's got like half a beard. Does anyone else see that?
It's because you can only see the stubble on one half of his face due to the shine, yeah.
Yeah, and it makes it look like he's just got like half a beard.
I'm just waiting until Marcus tell me how many successes he got.
Yeah, I just noticed that too. Thanks for pointing that out. I cannot unsee it.
You're welcome. That's how I picture Jackie, though. Like every time I come into scene, he's only got like one half of his face shaved.
He didn't finish shaving today.
Very common.
I don't know shit.
Okay.
So we simultaneously herp and derp.
He will say...
Well, I don't know.
He will reach into his pocket or the fold of his robe, and he will withdraw a single beautiful white lotus flower. How it could have been in his robes and not been crushed is beyond you, but he removes it anyway and places it deftly on... He'll kind of hold out his hand towards Ikiro.
She will reach out and tenderly take the flower.
It's a very pretty flower. And he will say, when the song sings, you will know.
I suppose until then I will wait in anticipation until I am able to hear it singing.
He will put his hands around yours, and then he will move them up towards your neck with the lotus in his hands. And as he does so, there is a bright sheen of light as from his hands 2 silver chains emerge until they connect around the back of your neck in the form of a beautiful silver necklace with the lotus at the center.
I thank you for this gift. And I hope I am able to find that which is lost, so that it may be returned to you soon.
He will say, soon is relative. Tomorrow, far off. Everything is but a dream.
Indeed, but unfortunately, it seems that if we are not able to fix the sleeping conscious tomorrow, this dream will be over for the city.
He will say, whenever evil rises, so too will good rise to oppose it. Never greater, but always equal, and the two shall dance. That is the nature of the world.
Indeed. It is such a shame, though, to see forces on both sides fall. The good always die young, is that not the saying?
but in their deaths, perhaps they achieve their destinies. In every iteration, we seek to break the wheel, to step free from life, to transcend that which is. That is why we follow the Dharma.
He kind of taking some side-eye glances at Jackie because the dude just said break the wheel. Then she would nod slightly, but you can't see. So she will simply say, "Indeed. And until that time comes, we can only continue to follow our destiny."
He will smile at the fact that when your eyes flick to Jackie, you'll see him smile, and he will say, "Others wish to stay within the wheel and keep it spinning. That is their destinies. That is what they desire and how they see. Some wish a different path. Both are to be respected for the simple fact that they have a path."
Indeed.
He would turn and contemplate the room for a moment. I contemplate what is existence. What is truth? To keep the stillness whole, the myriad things act in consort. I thereby wish their return. All things flourish, and each returns to its root.
That is how it has been. And that is how it will always have been. And will always be.
He will say as he stands... Oh, sorry, continue.
She was just going to say, but I hope you're able to find the answers to your questions.
He once again appears to be thinking. And he says, as soon as you have made a thought, you must laugh.
But what sort of laughter? There are so many kinds.
Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises?
It is not a strong suit, but I am capable.
In all things we shall see. As I have said, tomorrow is but a dream. He will, before he stands up, he will put his hand once again on the side of Iki's face, and he'll do that. He'll basically lean forward and he'll press his forehead against yours, and he will say, "The light must always circle the dark. So it is the world will continue to circle the sun."
Indeed.
He will smile and he will stand up. He will put his hands behind his back. He will say, "In battle, in victory, understand that you fight for tomorrow. And the wounds made, rent deep in flesh, are a testament to your will that tomorrow will come, and the dawn shall break, and all else shall be memory."
Finley, I reckon he's talking to you.
Okay, so you're saying when he got up, he said that? He wasn't looking at my character, but he just said that?
Correct.
I'll go with even having Enigma 0, the whole rent in flesh thing kind of gets his attention because I'm the only one that's visibly injured to that extent. He'll kind of look, think for a moment. He looks a little apologetic because he's heard other people talk like this before, but it's not his. He can be polite. He's not capable of this level of eloquence, at least not yet. He says, "I appreciate the sentiment. I did what I did to help everyone survive, but it was the only thing that came to mind."
The journey to understanding begins with a single step. Perhaps it is a step taken in haste, or one taken in anger in the moment. However, it is a step nonetheless.
He'll nod and then realize, oh, wait, blind. And just kind of quietly voice his understanding.
He will say, as he starts to walk towards the door, "Tea has been shared. The lotus may sing. And I have seen the ebon dragon turn white of scale. To think I would live in such a time." These are the dreams of tomorrow we share. By the way, you very much notice the fact that he didn't do this when he entered, but very calmly he's walking around all of the obstacles. And he's not shuffling, he's walking properly. And if no one else says anything to him, he will depart. And he leaves.
Really needs to go visit Gravedigger now. Holy fuck.
Well, that fella was interesting, to say the least.
think that is some of the best conversation I've had in a while.
That breaking the wheel talk made me a little. That messed with me a little bit.
Indeed.
And how things supposed to go, I don't reckon. I guess. Teller had a point. After a fashion.
Seems he had always had a point.
I think he's telling us one thing I think we missed. I don't know if we missed it or not, but it's either one or two things. Either he's straight crazy, or there was someone else that he felt needed hospitality with that other cup of tea.
Has anyone looked at the cup of tea?
Yeah.
It's empty. As in both the one that he was drinking from and the one he pushed to the table are both empty.
It seems as if the one he was waiting for arrived.
And look, you also got yourself a quest.
Yes, so it seems.
And I know you're not one for asking for help, but if you do, I'll avail myself of your help there. I'll help. Not that you'd ever ask or nothing, or that I don't think you're capable or nothing.
Wait, is that directed at her or Finley?
Her. He doesn't.
Okay.
You seem. No. Not that I assume. Nothing. Just if you did find something for a fellow like me could help you with, I'll.
Of course, Mr. Jackie. Hmm.
I ain't mean that you was the person doing whatever it was doing. It's just, well, you're always in deep in that sort of thing. Because I don't know why.
Why, of course, Mr. Jackie.
You're being real non-committal.
I usually am.
Say evasive.
I always am.
Now, you gonna clue the two of us in on what most of that conversation was like? Or you gonna let us sit here confused and dumbfounded?
I rather enjoy seeing the confused and dumbfounded faces on both your self and Mr. Finley.
Well, okay then. I really can't do anything about that. Okay, I'm glad at least you were honest about it. Thank you very much.
Finley doesn't seem too worried. He kind of shrugs.
Well, most of that talk about the Dharmic and the wheel and stuff I picked up on because that's part of, Euthanatos 101. But the rest of it, I don't know. Either he gave you a wedding gift or something, or he bought you a pretty necklace or thinks you're pretty. I don't know what's going on. I'm just saying.
It's most certainly not a wedding gift. Nor anything
All right, so
else.
I lost that bit. Okay, so what's all this got to do with the stick? Huh?
When it sings, I shall know.
Are people happy to end the scene? Okay.
No, we could totally take a trip to the Shadowlands. Who wants to go?
No, my wife.
I bet the
my wife
difficulties are hella low.
No, thank you.
Kim, you want to dump them all into the Shadowlands again?
Yes, I want to dump them all into the Shadowlands.
Okay, you're all being dumped into the Shadowlands.
Please
I
no.
gotta roll.
Oh god.
No, I'm not gonna do that to them. I want to, though. I want to so badly.
It would only be funny if Marcus still had his old age problems, because then he'd be dumping literally 2 cripples into the Shadowlands.
I mean, yeah, you would.
Look here.
Oh my god, that's why only half of his face is shaved.
You know what? I'm gonna make a GM ruling here that Jackie, since you've been healed and since you almost died, it killed half the hair follicles on your face,
Oh no.
so you can only grow half a beard.
No, don't do that.
That's just mean.
Don't do that.
Okay, I'm not allowed to do that. Anyway, thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness and Dublin where Kim is too much of a pussy to dump them all into the Shadowlands.
Motherfucker. I would totally do it, but I don't want to be mean to the people. Thank you very much.
Then do it.
Oh,
I don't wanna-
no.
I'm not gonna do something that makes the players uncomfortable.